I will start with the first person, Madame Emmanuelle Pétry, Head of Development at Millimage in France. She was responsible for the opening of the first Nelvana office in France, and she is presently working on series with the BBC, Canal+, and France 5. Can you please applaud Madame Pétry? Madame Heather Kitten began her career at Hanna-Barbera Cartoons. She was a senior director at Cartoon Network. She now acts as a consultant in animation, and from what I know, she made her studies in the US and California. Madeleine Lévesque runs her company that helps develop TV and film projects in Canada. She used to be Director General of Original Production at Teletoon, where she took care of international co-production. And Madeleine is from Montreal, but she's in fact from all over the world and all over Canada. Tanya Kellen is an independent executive producer and senior executive for television. She was head of distribution at Breakthrough Entertainment in Canada. She has worked on projects with Discovery, Nickelodeon, Jetix, ABC Australia, and Rai in Italy, amongst others. And she teaches now marketing and distribution at Ryerson College in Toronto. Kati Shelko, she is currently in charge of developing educational program for the Hawks Foundation. Previously, she was vice president of international production at Sesame Street. She also was the producer of She was also producer and creative consultant at Nickelodeon. We thought we needed one guy on the panel. His name is Josh Salling. He's a writer, director, producer, but also, it's important in his CV, he's a juggler, fire eater, and unicyclist. Amongst programs that he directed so far, there were programs for Sesame Street's episodes, but he's the CEO of Little Airplane Production in New York, and his company is presently producing a series with the BBC. John? Amongst the Brazilian guests and panelists, we are glad to have amongst us Marta Machado, who is presently the president of ABCA, the Association of Animation Cinema. She is an associated producer at Auto Desenhos Animados, which produces short and feature for advertising. Welcome, Marta. Last but not least, Kiko Mistrorigo started his career as a designer and went on to create his own company, TV Penguin, with partner Celia Katonda, and he is one of the persons who is extremely active in co-production on the international scene. Welcome, Kiko.
I think overall the quality, the potential is very high. I would say there were, 64 projects in all that we read, and there wasn't one in there that you thought, this just doesn't have a chance. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. That project did not exist in the 64. I think most of them show potential, but they're rough. They need to be honed. There's just certain things that aren't quite how people do them on the international market, but it's all stuff that can be learned. You know, some of it was very simple, just kind of formatting things, what we expect to see in Bibles, and others were perhaps subject matter that isn't appropriate necessarily for certain ages. But there was a lot of meat to be able to work with, which I think is important, or the most important.